What do you think of those who would say, yes, all these experiences are very entertaining to listen to, but at the end of the day, it's just anecdotes. It's just anecdotal data that mean really nothing of evidential value. It's hearsay. How do you think of that opinion?
I respect that opinion, because I think people have to go as far as a reality makes sense to them. And this is something that we always have to respect. But I think that anyone who have ever had a little bit more sensitivity to the non-physical world, or have had any sort of experience, they would never agree to that. And the number of people who fit into this are large. The problem is that many, they resort to explanations that are just beliefs, religion, or something that satisfies them and makes them feel comfortable. Many are very, very afraid of this reality, because the way we are brought up and the way Hollywood moves somehow shape our minds. We tend to feel that if there is something out there, well, it's a ghost and it's going to threaten me, right? Yeah. And then there has to come an exorcist, and then there's going to be a poltergeist, and then it's evil. And we are somehow taught to behave in this way. And whenever people have any perception, the first thing that they do, I'm not going to say, oh, I know many that never did, but for most people, the first thing they do is to feel something is wrong. Now, what did I do? And then they're going to pray. I'm not judging any of that. What I'm saying is, what is the level of lack of information that we have? So I totally respect, because I think many people never had an experience to point to them the fact that we have a reality that is beyond just this physical world and this physical body, this physical life. But others, they dispute a lot out of fear, and they will never admit. I have many cases of people who are colleagues, researchers, or people who teach with me at the International Academy of Consciousness, and we try to do a very serious work in clarifying about all of that. But I have many examples of people who had family members who have had lots of experiences, all different types, sensing non-physical presences like someone without physical body, having intuitions, premonitions, having ideas that comes to their mind, out-of-body experiences, seeing things, sensing in different ways, and they do not want even to hear about that, even though their own brother, sister, father, daughter are here teaching about that, because they were scared. Many people had been very scared throughout their early experiences for not having information. And many people start sensing this non-physical reality in environments like the lady I told you about, one of those that I have interviewed and researched about. Like, she was in a house that the energy, the environment, the climate, and the non-physical reality there was not so positive. So for someone in that way who never goes beyond into understand their experience, they may grow with that sense. Whatever is there is horrible. When we know that when someone have like a near-death experience, a positive one, very clear one, or when someone has a very positive, lucid out-of-body experience, they completely lose fear of death. They completely change their views of life, because the quality of the experience is different. And what I'm trying to say behind it is that someone who never had the experience, they will never agree. You can tell them anything, and they will find an explanation. This is your subconscious mind. This is just because you heard that somewhere and you don't remember. This is just a dream. But whoever had the experience, that experience is completely, absolutely, utterly different than any sort of dream. It cannot be confused. But the only ones who knows that are those who have had the experience. That's why I think anyone who wants to research about this phenomenon, they must have had truthful experiences, real ones, strong ones, because they will be able to understand what's false or truth, what is just an imagination of the brain, which does happen, and what is a fact, a perception that is coming from senses that are beyond the physical senses.